Hi everybody, this is Brian Brisson and I'm back with another edition of NFL Best Bets for Week 11. This show is brought to you by the Typical Sports Fan. You can find us on Twitter at TSF96. You can find myself on Twitter at FVCKGoodell. Let's just dive right into it. Last week, 2-3 probably should have been 4-1. Yeah, that's good math. 4-1. The Chiefs had a late interception that they almost ran back but didn't, and somehow the Rams defense just could not make that last stop we needed against the Seahawks to cover. The Bears dominated. The over in the New Orleans game hit by I'm pretty sure the Saints hit it all but a safety by themselves. It was at 53.5. I think they scored 51. Yeah, so if the Saints just would have put up a field goal, they would have covered the over by themselves. We didn't even need Cincinnati, really. But those 14 points got us there, so that's a good thing. Let's move on to this week. Simple slate, 5 games. We have a matchup from last year's playoffs that a lot of people were shocked by. Jacksonville is hosting Pittsburgh last year in the playoffs. Obviously, Jacksonville kind of pulled off the upset against the much more experienced Pittsburgh Steelers team and just somehow pulled out a win. Jalen Ramsey said something like he's going to win the Super Bowl. That obviously didn't happen. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this year either. But I think the Jags are motivated for this game. Leonard Fournette is coming back. I believe he was back last week, but he's looking to get back to his old self and just dominate the running game. Pittsburgh's defense isn't that great. I think Leonard Fournette should have a field day kind of. Look for James Conner to take a little step back against a defense who should be much better than they're playing. I think Jacksonville keeps it within the 6, so Jacksonville plus 6 is the pick. They might win outright, in all honesty. I'm not. Everyone's on the Steelers. Like, the Steelers are looking so good this year. They're finally looking like they turned the corner. I'm not. I don't really feel it. I think they're going to make one hell of a playoff team. But, yeah, they'll get the 2nd seed. Good for them. They'll probably make it to the AFC Championship game and get smoked by the best offense in the league with the Chiefs. I digress. I would like to say this. There are 2 teams after this week I am not betting with or against, whether it's the over-under, the spread, anything, and we'll get to them last. But next play is Carolina -5 at Detroit. I think Carolina is much better than they played against the Steelers last week. They got absolutely mopped. I believe the final came out to be 52-21. They got absolutely destroyed. And I think they're looking for a big bounce back week, to show that they are a very good defense and that their offense can do some things. Because last week it just did not show. Scoring 3 touchdowns in the NFL like that should be a gimme, essentially. Most defenses' points per game at the end of the season hovers somewhere between 17 and 25. So 21, that should be easy pickings because only the top defenses get 17 or below. Doesn't really make sense to me, So take them -5 at Detroit. I know it's a road game, and I'm very wary about taking road favorites a lot. I don't think it matters. I think Detroit is not very good. They had a win early against a Patriots team that doesn't look very good, in all honesty. But then I see Carolina probably doing exactly what Pittsburgh did to them last week. Cover by 10, 15 points maybe. Next up, we got the New York Giants -1.5 hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I liked this pick before it snowed in New York today. Now that it snowed in New York, I love this pick. The New York Giants have a phenomenal running game. And you know what? Eli Manning's not the best, but he's played in New York his whole career. He's used to this. Ryan Fitzpatrick's probably used to it too, but most of those players, probably not. I expect the Giants to just run all over Tampa Bay this week. Saquon Barkley's going to get a lot of touches, so if you have him in fantasy, good for you. -1.5 is the number. Like that, it'll probably go up or down, whichever way you want to look at it. I think up would be the right way. It'll probably end somewhere around -3. That's still easy cover, in my opinion, because despite how terrible the Giants' offensive line is, they should easily cover that number. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if they get slowed down offensively, they can't win. Plain and simple. Take the passing offense out of the game specifically, and they're not going to do very well. Giants -1.5. Sorry. And our last Sunday game is the Chicago Bears -2 hosting the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to say this. The Bears offense has shocked me this year. I didn't think they were going to do that well. They play very well at home. They do solid on the road. They put up 23 in Lambeau, 30. I think it was 31. It was either 30 or 31 in Miami. I should know. I was at the game. That's my fault. But at home, they do phenomenal. They destroyed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we just talked about. They're not very good defensively. They pretty much dismantled the Lions except for some garbage time touchdowns. This offense is better than people give them credit for. Mitchell Trubisky is playing better than people give him credit for. Now, I'm not going to say he's like a top echelon quarterback, but I think he could be that in the future if he can just keep putting together good games. Good game after good game, and it really helps that locker room has rallied around him. Sorry. Oh, I don't know. Something with fantasy. You guys don't care. Yeah, they've rallied around him. That is their quarterback. And that is something so important for a young quarterback to know he has the support of his locker room. And that defense, phenomenal. One of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. I'll give the Vikings credit. Their offense is looking pretty good compared to what I expected. I did not expect Kirk Cousins to come in and do well. Adam Thielen's arguably the best receiver in the league this year. Can't argue those points. But I think the Bears can cover -2 easily at home. If the fields were switched, maybe it's a different story. But at home, in the elements, take the Bears -2. And our last pick of the week, after this week, I am not betting these two teams again. They have burned me too many times on close little things that we should have easily covered. And if you guys have watched the show, you know that I am talking about the Chiefs and the Rams. This will be the last week I picked them. This game was scheduled to be in Mexico City. The Chiefs are kind of getting screwed by the NFL by putting this game in LA. Now, when it's supposed to be a neutral site game. Go figure. The NFL screws something up. Big whoop. Happens every year. More often than not to teams who don't deserve it. Kansas City, LA, over 62. This game's going to have a lot of points. The Rams' defense is very talented, but they have not played very well. The Chiefs' defense is not that good, in all honesty. And both offenses can score the ball fairly fast. You have Todd Gurley, one of the best if not the best, one of the best running backs in the league. Kareem Hunt's one of the best dual threat backs in the league. You have a face-off of two very good young quarterbacks in Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes. You have Tyreek Hill, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. This game has points written all over it. Marcus Peters isn't looking too good, so he might get exposed. Aqib Talib, not looking phenomenal. I don't even know if he's playing. I haven't heard his name that much this year. Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, still very good up front. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of a name of somebody on the Chiefs defense. I can't do it. Rob Parker, I believe is his name, the safety. Dee Ford, I know Dee Ford. He was pretty good in college. Don't know how he is in the NFL, but I digress. These two offenses are going to put up a lot of points. I would not be surprised if this number covers by halftime. You might be thinking, Brian, that's 62 points in one half from NFL teams. I'm like, yeah. I could see it, in all honesty, being tied at 31 at halftime or being like 35-24. We will get close to that number at halftime, in my opinion. So, that's the show. We have 5 picks. Jacksonville +6, Carolina -5, New York Giants -1.5, give or take, Chicago -2, and the Kansas City LA over 62 points. I hope we have a better week, and I'll see you guys next week for